Kelly and welcome to my channel. I'm here today to do the Bookstore Book Tag, all the questions for which will be noted down below, and there'll also be a link to the original video by Basically Brits because we're just going to get right on with this one. Number 1 is the beginning of your journey. You walk into a bookstore and instantly feel happy. Name a book with the perfect beginning. And I hate having to go to Harry Potter for the answer to any of these tag video questions, and I doubly hate having to do it for the first one. But that's my answer to this question. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone has the perfect opening. It's not just that very tart, concise tone perfectly captures the characters of the Dursleys from the outset. It's more that J.K. Rowling's writing style, that very confident, assured style, makes the reader feel safe. And that's not just a retrospective view that now that I know it, when I reread them, that there's this grand adventure ahead of me. That was from my very first reading, before she was as huge as she is. I knew that J.K. Rowling was a solid writer. She has this very assured, confident style that, again, makes the reader feel safe. It makes them sure that this writer is going to take them on a complete and satisfying circuit of their imagination and then deliver them back to the start line safely with few questions left unanswered. So that is my answer to the perfect beginning. Number 2 is the sad moment when they don't have the book you're looking for. Name a book that made you bawl your eyes out. And I have to say that no book has ever made me bawl my eyes out. There is one that I kind of want to use for this, but I don't think that my tears, I cried more at that book than any other, but that book was preceded by 5 other books, so I think really those tears were the sum of 6 books, not 1. My God, this is a long answer, so I'm not going to go for that one. In fact, I think I might use that later along in this tag. So I'm going to go with the book that made me cry most recently, which was One by Sarah Crossan, and this made me cry on the plane between Cairns and Darwin when I was still living in Australia. It's the story of conjoined twin sisters. It's told in verse, and it's very complete for all that. Like, you don't feel like you've missed out on loads of plot just because it's not told in prose. It's very beautiful. I can't talk too much about it, but you should read it. Number 3 is that moment when you're just looking around the bookstore and you find a random book that speaks to you. Name a hidden gem. At the moment I am reading Roses by G.R. Mannering, which I could easily use as the answer to this question because I don't hear many people speak about it and I am enjoying it so much more than I was anticipating. But I have plans for this further down the line, so instead I'm going to go for a book that I don't own in physical form, and in fact it's quite hard to get hold of now because I think the publisher went out of business. That book is The Assassin's Curse by Cassandra Clarke, and I tore through this book. This book was good old-fashioned adventure with a side of romance. So good, so highly recommended. It's the story of a girl who is kind of the daughter of pirate royalty, and she's very feisty and independent. All she wants to do is captain her own ship, but she is promised in marriage to this, I don't know if it's another family of pirates or it's a family of merchants, but she's promised to their son, so she's kind of destined to watch his incompetent ass behind the ship's wheel instead. And before that can happen, before the marriage can happen, she runs off into the desert where she ends up saving the life of an assassin. And in doing so, their lives become magically linked. And it's just a wonderful adventure, again, with a bit of romance and just a wonderful female heroine. I really recommend that book. Number 4 is the moment when you finally find a book you've been looking for. Name a book you've been waiting months and months to be released. And I don't know about months, but I've been waiting a couple of years for Solutions and Other Problems by Allie Brosh. This is the sequel to Hyperbole and a Half, which has the same name as her blog. I don't even know if this book is ever going to be released now because it's had cover art for a long time, but it keeps being pushed back. And I swear at one point I looked at it and it said 2029, so I don't know. But there is one book that I actually pre-ordered, and I haven't pre-ordered a book in a long time. That is Wintersong by Jae-Jones, which I haven't read yet. It's not a retelling of Labyrinth, but it is very much inspired by it, and it has a Goblin King, which is why I had to go out and buy Jareth, who now sits on top of my Six of Crows duology. He's so cool. Look at that hair. So like that I definitely anticipated, but I think the one that's really interrupting sleep at this point is the third book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. The third one is going to be A Court of Mist and Ruin. And I need it. I need it quite badly. I need it. Number 5 is that moment when you see a book with a gorgeous cover and you just have to have it. Name a book you bought purely because of the cover. And I have more than one answer to this question because it happens quite a lot. It happened with Tsarina by J. Nelle Patrick. I bought this book a couple of years ago. I haven't read it yet, but look at the glory. It's a Russian, what's it called? Russian magical realism involving a magical Fabergé egg. And look at the glory. Look, it's just, no regrets. Then I have What Is Not Yours Is Not Yours by Helen Oyeyemi. This is a collection of adult short stories, and rather than the front cover, I bought it for the spine because it has an exposed spine. You can see all the individual folios and the stitching and the glue, and I just thought that was pretty cool, and it makes the volume a little bit narrower, which is always interesting. And then I also have First and Then by Emma Mills. The cover is stunning, front and back, and then underneath the jacket as well, you get the rain. So beautiful. I am trash for covers like this. Moving on. Number 6 is the moment when you have to pay rather a lot of money for your books, but you're still just happy to finally own them. Name a book that made you suffer, but you were ultimately happy about it. The peculiar masochism of readers. I'm going to go with The Winner's Crime by Marie Rutkoski, but I only have The Winner's Kiss to hold up. So this is book 3 in the Winner's Curse trilogy by Marie Rutkoski. The Winner's Crime is number 2. This whole trilogy is amazing, but number 2, The Winner's Crime, is particularly painful because the plotting is so Shakespearean and you can see the web tightening around the characters. You can anticipate the troubles they are going to get into, and they're playing games and lying, and it's like, it seems necessary at the time, but you know that shit's gonna go down, and it was painful to watch. And actually the end of The Winner's Crime does not make it any better, but this book, The Winner's Kiss, makes everything better, and it's beautiful to boot. I recommend this whole trilogy, seriously, it's so good. Number 7, finally, you are leaving the bookstore feeling super happy and excited. Name a book with the perfect ending. And I could easily go once more for Marie Rutkoski and The Winner's Kiss because, yes, it's a perfect ending. But I'm going to go instead for Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb, which is book 3 in the Tawny Man trilogy, which follows on from the Farseer trilogy, has the same main characters who are the bays of my life, Fitz and Fool, forever. And the end of Fool's Fate has an ode written by one character to another. And it's perfect. It's poignant. It is, the most emotionally manipulative thing ever, but it's just perfect. And Robin Hobb never gives the reader everything. She never gives the reader what I think she knows that we want. She always holds back just a little bit, but it's kind of for the best. Hi, my name is still Kelly. Don't you just love it when you're at the end of editing a video and you feel really victorious about that video because the lighting was epic the whole way through, and this is Scotland, so that never happens to you, and then for reasons unknown, you decide to delete the ending of that video. So you have to quickly change back out of your pajamas into the clothes you originally filmed in to refilm the ending even though the sun is already setting. And then as you're editing the refilm, you realise that you didn't have enough space on your SD card, so it only saved half of the refilm, so you still have to refilm, but you just do not have the will to change out of your pajamas again, so you just turn up in front of the camera in your hippopotamus pajamas and you pray to make this stop. So this is the end of the Bookstore Book Tag. If you would like to do it, please consider yourselves tagged. It was a fun one, even though now I feel like I'm losing my mind. Link those videos down below also so that I can check them out. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to see the next one, and I will try to get the next one right. Thanks very much. Bye.